Hi, I'm Sabrina with Bina Crochets, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of like a yarn haul video, but we're also going to be trying the yarn at the same time. I went to the dollar store because I saw everywhere that they had yarn, and I decided that, you know, hey, I want to try this. So that's what we're gonna do. I got, I think, 2 of every kind of yarn that they have. Besides the worsted, I got 3 different colors of those because I have ideas in mind. The only one that I couldn't find, I think there was like 2 that I couldn't find at the one store, so I'm hoping that, you know, if I go to the other store, maybe later down the road, I'll actually be able to find them. But let's take a look at everything we got. Okay, so we're going to start with the just worsted. I'm using the color turquoise. It says to use a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, which I have right here. This is my Furls 5.5. I already went ahead and chained 10. I'm just going to work a half double row, I guess. I feel like that would be decent enough to judge this, even though I don't normally work with only half doubles. I do work with other ones too, but it's actually really soft. I do want to say that it's super soft. It's not sticky, if that makes sense, and compared to other worsted weight yarns I've used, it's actually very nice. I do plan on using the worsteds for baby blankets that I'm going to be taking or shipping to hospitals for NICU babies. This is my little strip. That's the back. It's very nice. It works up pretty well. The stitch definition's pretty good too. And it frogs like a dream. I'd use this. I would go back to the dollar store and get at least 10 more of these if I could. They're great. I like them a lot. I think the next yarn that we're going to be trying is the Just Chanel. I will say this right now. I do not like Chanel yarn. I never have. Probably never will. I worked up a row. Ignore the mess. I worked up a row of half doubles. I can't see my stitches. This one, I don't like. Yes, it's soft, but my biggest issue with Chanel yarn is it has a tendency of shedding, which I don't like. I won't use it. So after this video, I'm most likely going to donate it or something like that. It was only $1.25, so I can't be mad, but they did recommend an 8 millimeter hook, which is what I used. It's just not necessarily something that I like or enjoy. It's really easy to work with. It is super soft. It's just not for me. It also kind of has a little bit of a waxy feel. I don't know if that's normal for Chanel yarn because I don't work with it, but that's really all I have to say about this one. If you like Chanel yarn, give it a try. If you're used to working with it, you might know some more differences than I do, but I think we're gonna move on to the next one. So the next yarn we're going to try is the Plush. Now, I do want to say I did make a chain of either 10 or 11, and I worked 2 rows of half double crochets with my 4 millimeter hook because that is what it says. I will say it is kind of like working with eyelash yarn. If you've ever worked with that and you know how that feels, you would know. I do want to see how it frogs. Pretty seamlessly, actually. That's not bad at all. The only thing that I have an issue with is the fact that I can't see my stitches and I have to feel for them. It's the same reason I don't work with Chanel yarn, but I will say that this is pretty nice. It's really soft. Not one that I would use again, but I only have 2 skeins, and they're going to be going on my son's blanket when I make it. So other than that, let's move on to the next one. The next yarn that we're going to be trying is the Just Chanel Medley. Now I know I said that I don't like Chanel yarns, but this one said use a 6.5, so I grabbed my 6.5. I worked up a chain of 10 and 9 half double crochets. Let's see how it frogs. It sticks to itself. I also noticed that when I was working with it, that it doesn't glide through your hook. It's more of like a stick to itself, not wanting to actually move through. You kind of have to fight with it a little bit. This is another one that I'm gonna just have to say no to. I don't like it. It's not something I would use again. So I will most likely be giving this one away too, because I would rather not keep it in the stash taking up space and just move it along. It's also not soft. It's really, I don't know if you can hear that. And that's not because my hands are dry. That's the yarn itself. Like, it's just not soft at all. I don't like it. Let's move on to the next one. The next yarn we're going to be trying is the tweed. I will say this one is really soft as well. It's just like the worsted. I went ahead and did my chain 10 and worked up 9 half doubles, and look at the stretch. Like, there's some decent stretch there for some acrylic yarn. The stitches are beautiful. I don't have to worry about not seeing them. The yarn itself is really soft, and it's actually very easy to work with. I don't have any issues with this. I would use this one again. 100% would use this one again. This one also suggested you use a 5.5, but it's really nice and it's smooth. It doesn't squeak against your hook. It glides. And it was also a lot easier to get into the back bumps of this chain than it was to get into the back bumps of the worsted weight. And I think either I just chained too tight on the worsted weight, or I don't know, there's just something different about this one. They are both worsted, it's just this one's a tweed. And I really like this one, so I'm definitely going to keep it. It's super soft. And let's check how it frogs. So, 2 rows, and like a dream. It's amazing. I love it. Definitely going to use it. And now, we have one more. Alright, so our last final yarn that we are going to be looking at is the Teddy. Now I will say this is really soft. It's not as soft on the skein as it is when you are working with it. It's softer when you work with it. I did go through and decide to do my chain of 10 and just a row of half doubles. I can definitely see my stitches in this one, and I think that's just because the fuzz is not as prominent. Like, you can see the actual yarn underneath the fuzz, so you can see your stitches. It's very nice. I'm working into the 3rd loops of my half doubles right now. And yeah, I like it. It's really soft. It glides. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is the frogging, so let's check that. Perfect. Frogs perfectly. It does shed a little tiny bit. Like, I had this little fluff fall off, but one little fluff compared to, you know, nothing else, I would 100% go for it. I used my 5mm hook because that is what the label recommends. This is going to be used for a blanket for my son. But yes, I like it. It's nice. It's not weird. It's not a weird texture. It's pretty good texture. And I don't know if you can see the fuzz, but the fuzz doesn't make it hard to see at all. So this one, 100% would use again. All right, so final thoughts. I'm ranking them from 1 to 6. 1 is obviously my favorite, my top favorite. 6 is obviously one that I will never touch again, and it is going to be donated and given away. So starting with number 6, it's the Chanel Medley. I don't like the texture. I don't like the way it works up. It squeaks when it slides across my hook. The stitch definition is not there. This is my swatch. It's just not there. The color's nice. I like the color, but I definitely feel like it's just not one that I would ever touch again. The next yarn at number 5 is going to be the Just Chanel. Yes, it's soft, but I don't like how my stitches look. I also don't like that it sheds. It sheds a little too much for me. It's also not something I would work with. It didn't squeak, it did slide across my hook. It's just not one that I personally would enjoy working with again. Number 4 is going to be the Plush. I know you can't see the stitches, but it's actually super soft, and I do like it. It's not terrible. The only thing that I would change is the fact that I can't see my stitches, and maybe I should just, you know, up the hook size a bit or do something else. But it is one that I will work with again. Number 2 and number 3 are kind of the exact same, just 2 different colors with different, they have technical different names. The Tweed and the Worsted. I absolutely adore the Worsted. It's super nice. Stitch definition is there. It's stretchy. But that being said, the stitch definition is also there with the Tweed, and the Tweed is also stretchy. So those 2 are 2 and 3. I would work with them again, and I actually plan on working with them again. Now the number 1, the top favorite out of all 6 of these is the Teddy. I don't know why, because I don't normally like working with fuzzy yarns, but this one just has a chokehold on me. The stitches, obviously, you can't really see them on that side, but I can see them on this side, on the wrong side. I can also see them on the right side when the right side's facing me, but it's super soft. I adore it. It's so nice to work with. It doesn't squeak. It doesn't get stuck. It frogs nice. And I'm definitely going to use it again. I just wish there were more colors. Also, I wish the center pull on all of these was a lot easier to grab. But other than that, that is all for this video. I do want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and possibly subscribe. If not, write down in the comments what I should do different next time. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. If you would like to see the swatches up close, I will be posting them in a video on my TikTok. Other than that, thanks for watching. Bye!